AustrianEconomics.com. I'm Nick Sorrentino. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about Ron Paul because increasingly, as I look at what is working in the body politic, Ron Paul, I've been a long time fan of his, but he is increasingly looking viable as a candidate on a national level, and I'll tell you why. What's interesting is that Obama has really pissed off a lot of the left. There are lots of issues that help him triangulate, the left, and especially the radical left. But they're not happy with him right now for sure, and they're not happy about the wars primarily. That's a big thing, and obviously he's clueless on the economy. The reason why he's clueless is because he's a leftist, but that's another issue. But regardless, there's a wedge. There's an important, not a wedge, but there's a rift that I don't think a lot of people have identified just yet, and it's one that Ron Paul can take advantage of in the most cynical sort. It's not cynical. But can take advantage of politically, and that is this. There are two groups of people. There are many groups within the left, obviously, but broadly they come down, from what I see, as the statist left and the innovative left. The statist left are the unions, the government employees, the teachers, and so on, who do not want to see things change, even though they have to change. Reality is showing that our fiscal situation necessitates that the world that they lived in is over. And then there's another group, which, I have no polling to back this up, but seems about evenly balanced, with people on the left the innovative left, people who work at places like Google and HP and so on, who are, they're innovators, they understand markets, but culturally, they could never bring themselves to vote for a Republican, because Republicans are for, book burning and so on. For them, Ron Paul, although he does not resonate necessarily with them yet, for a lot of those folks, they wouldn't have to hold their nose if to vote for Ron Paul. Which is weird because he's the most conservative guy around, but he's also the only viable anti-war candidate. So the point of this video is that there's an interesting, that Ron Paul clearly, I've always been a fan, but what I'm seeing is that, it's not just guys like me or people like me who are into Austrian economics and believe in the power of the free market, that will vote for this guy. Head to head with Obama, he polls great. And I think that there's a whole group of people who would be happy to see somebody come in, even if he is a 78-year-old libertarian, who actually does what he says and seeks to restore this country as best he can in the limited way that he can as president. I think there are a lot of people on the left who will come to his aid in a national election. This is interesting. Ron Paul is not only is he no longer fringe, he is at least as viable, from what I'm feeling, the vibe coming off of the internet and other places, at least as viable as Romney, who, has all this money but just seems to be stuck. Or any of the other candidates. Clearly, I would say that it's Romney and Ron Paul at this point. Anyway, so they're trying to bring Perry in Texas. God help us, by the way. Interestingly, in Texas, Ron Paul outpolls Perry for president, and Perry is the sitting governor. That's a remarkable thing. So, anyway, for libertyandeconomics.com, I'll talk to you later.